Hi everyone, it's Aijing here, and today we're going to be doing a full face of first impressions of Merit. I bought all of these products with my own money, so I don't usually do first impressions. I do very thorough reviews, but because I spent quite a lot of money on this, I just want to make as much content as I can. And a first impressions is going to be one of those videos. I am going to wear it to a dance class later and see how it performs when I'm moving and sweating. Also, I'm going to take all of these products with me on my holiday. I'm only going to wear these products on my holiday, so I will really know how I feel about them. Anyway, let's just get started. Merit Beauty is kind of like this clean beauty, vegan, cruelty-free brand. I feel like it's a new version of Glossier, but they avoid comedogenic ingredients like coconut oil. It's just that kind of effortless beauty, sort of like the it cool girl type vibes. They recently launched in the UK, so I ordered everything from the Merit website and got the free signature bag with my first order. I'll be taking this on holiday with me as well. I'm gonna zoom you guys in, like really zoom you guys in so you can see everything, and my skin is definitely not in the perfect condition right now, so okay, here is my big round face. I'm gonna start with just moisturizer because I've been using retinol because I've been getting a lot of breakouts and my skin is definitely peeling. So I'm really putting Complexion stick to the test today. Hopefully my skin will be a little bit better when I go on holiday later this week. So maybe it'll be a fairer test. Not necessarily a fairer test, but just, you know, a test under different conditions, which is always good to do to really test out a complexion products. Obviously you don't just want it to perform well when you have perfect skin, right? Because then, like, what's the point? So this is the Complexion stick. So all of Merit's product comes in this grey bluish cardboard box, and all of their logos in this light gold. It's very classy, feels luxe, but not all of their packaging feels luxe. I'll talk to you about that in a second. So it comes in this nice tube, again, like this kind of cool toned brown, grayish brown. Like, this is such a chic color with the gold lettering, is very nice. So I got my Complexion stick in the shade Bisque. So I used their shade matching tool on the website, and I put in my Lisa Aldrich foundation and my Pat McGrath foundation. They both came up with Bisque, so I'm hoping this will be a good match. What I'm going to do is actually this half of my face, I'm just going to apply directly on my skin and then apply with a brush for the other half of my face. And also Merit does sell a #1 brush. It is literally called the #1 brush, and that is a brush that you're meant to use to blend out their complexion stuff, but obviously I didn't buy that as either because, you know, money. So I'm just using this flat kabuki brush from Spectrum instead. I think applying from the stick to the skin and then blending out is probably the way, to be honest. I don't think it will work if you grab from the stick and then put it on your face. Okay, it's not bad, not bad. I feel like I'm applying quite a bit of pressure to blend this out. It's not working that well for me on first application, I have got to say. It's definitely grabbing onto these bits of my skin, which is peeling. So there's this area of my skin that is a little bit irritated. You can see the foundation grabbing onto there. Bits of my skin here is dry and peeling from the use of retinol, and that is also not liking it. On the other side, actually, so I'm gonna just try grabbing it from the brush and then putting it here around my nose. Okay, somehow that's worse. Can you see, like, it's just emphasized all of that dry skin. Let me see if I can do that. So that actually works better. In terms of coverage, I think you can see this side of my face is definitely more even, which is not bad. It's got like a light coverage that will definitely even the skin tone. And I'm gonna try blend a little bit with my fingers. What I'm gonna do is grab it onto my finger because this bit, like, I don't want that to touch that for obvious reasons. Okay, so that's not too bad. And in terms of the shade match, it's pretty good. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. Like, considering how red and angry those spots look, it did a pretty good job at taking down that redness and disguising them a little bit, but unfortunately it's definitely grabbing onto my dry patches. When I'm blending with my finger, I do like it a little bit more. The warmth of my finger warms up the product, makes it a little bit more emollient, and it's emphasizing my texture less. It does take a little bit of time to blend because it is quite thick. It's not a super melty type product, which is kind of what you would expect from a stick foundation, so I'm not too surprised. It's not doing a terrible job at evening out my skin tone, I gotta admit. I'm gonna apply a little bit more. So what I'm doing now is going in with my finger and applying on my skin like that. See if I can build up a little bit more coverage that way as well. So my under eye around my lash line is pretty pigmented. It's just darker skin. Can't control that. So the full name of this is the Minimalist Perfecting Complexion Stick. It is not a foundation or concealer, but it will replace both in your makeup bag. Light to medium coverage that stays breathable all day. Fatty acids condition skin and lock in moisture. Sea daffodil extract help diminish the appearance of pigmentation dark spot. Doubles as a contour. Formulated without acne triggering ingredients, obviously that is definitely what I want, and is made with 43% recycled plastic. So this has a 12-month shelf life and is made in South Korea. Ooh. So there are 6.5 grams in this as well. Okay, I gotta say, I am pleasantly surprised by the amount of coverage I'm getting from this, because I thought this was gonna be like a skin tint type of situation where I wouldn't get any coverage at all. But having put this all over my skin, it's really evened out my skin tone. It's managed to cover up the hyperpigmentation around my eyes pretty well. It is feeling a tiny bit sticky. So overall, I'm liking it so far. It's just that it definitely grabs onto dry patches. It's doing really well with redness and kind of my acne areas. It looks pretty skin-like as well, and it's giving me a subtle sheen. So I definitely do think if I wore like a really glowy primer underneath, that glowy primer will shine through and make this look even more dewy. I think I would actually really like this if I'm not having so many skin problems right now. But we'll see how this looks after my dance class. So the next product is the Merit bronzer. Now, looking at this packaging, I don't feel like it's as luxe. I actually feel like this gold cheapens it a little bit, and also this gold is just plastic and you can see like all of my fingerprints on there already. Another thing I've noticed is that this twist mechanism is very loose. I mean, obviously when the lid is on you can't twist it, but if the lid wasn't there to stop this, I feel like this is just going to keep twisting up and be a whole mess. So it's oval shaped, and you're supposed to use the thin side like this to sculpt and use it like this for warm to bronze. I have mine in the shade Clay, which is the second lighter shade, and on the website it says that this is for the people that wears the foundation in Bisque. So let's do a little sculpting action and see. Ooh. Okay. It's going on very smoothly, and again on this side I'm just directly applying, and I'm gonna try blending out with a brush again. Yeah, this is very, very blendable. The bronzer is lovely. My first impression of the bronzer is that it's super creamy. And I'm going to do a little bit of bronze now, really going for it, because I feel like they said you can't go wrong. So Bronze Balm Sheer Bronzer, the easiest bronzer ever. Sheer Beautiful formula that gives a wash of natural warmth and depth. Apparently impossible to mess up. Okay, now is it lifting up my foundation? A little bit. Little bit. Yeah, it's definitely lifted up my foundation a tiny bit, and I'm gonna just confirm my suspicions. And also I felt like it didn't actually build up that well. When I first blended it out with my brush, I didn't notice it going a little bit patchy, and that's just because it's so creamy that it's lifting up the layers underneath, right? So that's not surprising. But when you just go in with a couple swipes like that, that's okay. It's a really nice shade. I like the shade. It's not orange. Yeah, so applying directly on the skin is definitely lifting it up. And now I'm gonna go same brush, putting the brush on top of the product, picking it up that way, and then applying. I'm gonna try kind of dabbing rather than swiping to just try not to disturb the base underneath. Okay, definitely for sure, brush, product, face works better than product, face and brush. Yes, I do definitely feel like this side looks more seamless and it hasn't lifted up my base makeup. And yeah, the more I look at the color, the more I like it. It's just giving me a subtle bronze, which I really, really love. And I hope you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but kind of like this bottom bit, it's quite melty. Can you see that? So it's a very, very creamy formula. Bronzer Balm is made in South Korea as well, and it's got a 24-month shelf life. So the next thing that we have is the Flush Balm. This is also made in South Korea. Interesting. And this has a 24-month shelf life, like the bronzer. And I have mine in a shade Persimmon. And you've got 3 grams, 0.31 ounce in here. And this is the one with the packaging that I don't really like. Again, it's got the gold, cheap plastic gold, and it's got this plastic cap. And this definitely feels cheap to me. And I guess maybe because there's so much product, so maybe you're paying more for the actual product than the packaging. And it's a screw cap. I get a bit annoyed with screw caps, and also if you don't line up right, they won't twist properly. So I'm not a fan of this packaging. So what I'm gonna do again is directly on my face on this side. This is feeling like a similar texture to the foundations, feeling a little bit more waxy, a little bit thicker. Okay, very easily blendable. Again, I feel like the foundation underneath has definitely moved. I don't know, like, do you guys apply products directly to the face, or do you always use a brush to pick it up? Yeah, so all of this like area of my face over here, now the redness is shining through again because the foundation has just disappeared. It's been eaten away by the blush. So taking the brush, the product, and applying this way. Again, I'm dabbing rather than swiping. It hasn't disturbed my base as much, but I definitely do feel like the coverage has gone a little bit because you can see my freckles a lot more now. It's definitely giving me a really nice flush. So Persimmon is kind of like this really warm orange red, and that's kind of the color that I wanted because it's very summer appropriate and it's just giving me such a nice flush of color. I definitely can't complain. It's definitely giving my cheeks quite a bit of dew, and if you like that, you'll love this. You know what I'm gonna do is actually just use my finger and put a little bit on my eyelid. Ooh, now that I can see the foundation that has creased on my eyelid. So cheek color, a cream tint that melts into skin for lit from within color that stays flush all day. Microfine pigment powders provide a touch of color without covering up your natural skin texture. Lightweight buildable formula, long-lasting glow that's never heavy or cakey. And it's got vitamin E to condition the skin. Well, I gotta say, that doesn't look too bad actually. That's quite a nice eyeshadow color. Okay, next we've got the highlighter balm. So this is made in USA, 12-month shelf life, and there are 4 grams in this. This is what the highlighter balm packaging looks like. I definitely prefer this packaging with the white and the light gold. I feel like it looks a little bit more chic, but definitely, again, plastic. And it's quite cute that the cap has the imprint rather than the gold letter this time, because the other ones just have like the gold lettering. I actually wanted to get Carver, which is the champagne color, but it's out of stock, and I thought I'd go for Bounce, which is rose gold. This is supposed to kind of suit my skin tone as well, and I don't have a highlighter in those shades, so I thought I'd give it a go. So this is what Bounce looks like. You can see it's definitely a rosy color. On the back of my hand, again, feeling very creamy, and I'm going in directly on the skin again on this side, doing a few swipes. Okay, that is a lot more pink than I was expecting. I thought it would have a little bit more gold, but really it's pretty much straight up pink. But after blending, I feel like you can't see the color anymore. It's just giving dew. It's just giving shine and radiance, and I really love that. So one of my favorite highlighters is the Ciate London Dew Stick in the shade Clear, because it literally just gives you glow without sparkle, without shimmer. And this is what this is actually giving me as well. This feels very, very creamy as well. As I'm rubbing it with my fingers, it just feels like it's melting. Okay, you see that's what it looks like on my finger. It's very shiny. So on my finger, it looks more pink. And what I'm going to do is just dab this on my skin here. Day Glow Highlighting Balm. Made for daytime, this highlighter gives a dewy, balmy sheen with zero sparkle. The vitamin-rich base replenishes moisture for a dewy glow that lasts beyond makeup. Microfine pearls reflect light and illuminate skin. Plant-based squalene locks in hydration. Olive fruit oil nourishes skin with monounsaturated fatty acids and vitamin E, a no antioxidants. A phytosterol and amino acid blend promotes healthy skin barrier function. I am very, very impressed with the highlighter. It's reminding me of the Glossier highlighters as well. I used to have that, but decluttered it because I felt like it got a little bit too old. And I love that Glossier highlighter. The only problem with that Glossier highlighter was that it was really sticky. But I feel like this one is not as sticky. It's giving such a pretty glow. It's really just giving that sheen, and I love that so much. So the next product we have is the mascara. Very excited for the mascara because it's a tubing formula. I've never used tubing mascara, even though I've been meaning to try one for ages. So this was a great opportunity to try one. It's got 7 grams of product in there, 0.25 ounces, 6-month shelf life, just like all mascaras. And this is made in South Korea as well. It's got a traditional brush wand. It's not too big. And let's have a look. Your go-to mascara for everyday. It tints, lengthens and lifts lashes with no smudging, full stop ever. So it's really promising that no smudging. Proprietary tubing technology wraps and defines each lash with no smudging ever. Again, no smudging. Precision brush makes it easy to lift and separate each lash with a full feathery look. Fatty acids and olive oil esters conditions lash, while vitamin B5 adds shine. Removes easily with warm water and cleanser. I wonder if the cream product on my eyelid is going to affect the mascara performance, whether it smudges actually. Well, like one of the things I really hate is when the mascara smudges, and it's really difficult for me to find a mascara that doesn't smudge because of my eye shape. I'm actually really liking the effect that this mascara is giving me. It's giving me a little bit of volume, quite a bit of length, and I have done an at-home lash lift when I did my eyebrows, so my eyelashes are definitely nice and curly at the moment, so I feel like this gives the mascara a head start, I'm not gonna lie. But if I don't curl my eyelashes, they're just like this. I just applied a second coat to my top eyelashes. So the first coat sort of dried down a little bit, and when I applied it, I definitely kind of felt it going a tiny bit clumpy. I'm just gonna brush it out a little bit. But it's definitely giving me more volume after the second coat. I basically just want to coat every last millimeter of my eyelash. Yeah, I am not mad about this mascara right now. I am not mad about it. It is looking quite nice. And if it doesn't smudge, it will be a new contender for like a top shelf favorite status. Now we've only got 2 products left, and one is the lipstick and one is the lip gloss. It's the Merit Signature Lip Lightweight Lipstick, and by far I feel like this and the foundation for Complexion stick has the best packaging. Like this base, first of all, it's quite difficult to open, but like this base here feels heavy. It feels like there's weight to it, even though this is plastic. Like the two together looks good. It's giving me kind of like 1970s retro vibes. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like that vintage vibe, especially with the color story of kind of the warm toned brown and the gold together. And interestingly, this lipstick packaging is made with 30% recycled plastic. Love that. So this is made in Italy, and it's got a 12-month shelf life, and there is 3 grams of product in there, 0.1 ounce. I've got the shade Millennial. This is a classic pink is what the brand described it, and you can see the nice Merit imprint on the lipstick bullet as well. And I wanted to get a pink because I like wearing pinks, but I find it difficult to find the right tone of pink, and I kind of wanted to see how Merit approaches color, so I chose a color that I find difficult to wear. So let's see. Lipstick you can live in. Hydrating, buildable lipstick with a soft satin finish. Is so lightweight you'll forget you're wearing it. Provides a sheer satin finish color with the heaviness of a traditional lipstick. The color is lightweight and buildable. Layer for saturated color or add shade slick on top for glossy effect. Plant-derived squalene and sunflower seed oil provide long-lasting moisture for a comfortable lighter satin finish. Okay, first of all, it's giving classic lipstick smell. I don't think there's fragrance in that. I can definitely smell kind of like the waxes, the ingredients in this lipstick. I don't think it's a bad thing, it's just something to note. This is a nice lipstick. This is a really nice lipstick. It's so smoothing, like it doesn't feel thick. I can definitely feel like there's something on my lips, but it doesn't feel thick. It hasn't got too much shine. It's definitely what the website says, that it's a satin finish. It's not as shiny as like the Lisa Eldridge Lucent lipstick colors. It's got a fair amount of pigment, and I feel like this is a pink that I can wear without too much fussing, which I'm really impressed by. So I think they've got the undertones right in terms of color. Looking at my lips, they look so smooth. There are a lot of lipsticks, especially when it's a kind of a light pink color or a light peach color, the pigments can really settle in my lines, and I'm really not seeing that with this lipstick, and I'm loving it. Okay, lastly we've got the gloss. So this is the shade Slick Tinted Lip Oil. Okay, yeah, it's not even a gloss, it's a tinted lip oil. So this is made in the USA. It's got a 12-month shelf life. So I have mine in the shade Marrakesh. This is the packaging of the lip oil and logo imprinted. Again, it's like a heavy, thick kind of plastic. Marrakesh is a soft peach. I am going to put this on top of the lipstick. Shade Slick Tinted Lip Oil, a slick of sheer color infused with rose hip oil and shea butter for healthy lips all day. Adds a hint of color that is somewhere between a lip oil and a light stain. Repeated use helps maintain your lips' natural moisture levels over time. Feels very oily. Definitely feels like a lip oil. Not bad. It's definitely changed my lip color quite a bit. I am actually going to take this off now and apply just the lip oil because I really want to see the color. The applicator feels nice, but as you kind of get down with the product and you really feel the applicator, I can definitely feel the friction, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is the shade Marrakesh. What do you think? It's not giving me a soft peach. I feel like my lips do not look like the lips on the website, but it's very shiny. It looks so good. I'm again looking at my lips and I'm so pleased with the way that my lips look right now. Like again, nothing is settling into the lines of my lips. Yeah, I love it. I really love both of these lip products. Are awesome. And before I zoom you out, this is my face. No doubt about it, I am pleasantly surprised by the Merit products I've tried, and one of my subscribers, Lisa, said that she loves their lip products, and she's right. I can see why she loves their lip products, because both of these lip products are definitely stand out from the line. The other product that I really liked on first impressions is the highlighter. The bronzer balm and the cheek flush, I think they're really nice and creamy. So like they're not bad, but for me, I don't know. I could kind of like take it or leave it. For a kind of minimalist makeup routine, like those cheek products are amazing, especially if you're just wearing like a tinted moisturizer or like no foundation at all. The foundation stick definitely needs more test. And like I said, my skin is not in its best condition. So that's probably my least favorite product. And mascara is great on first application. I like how my lashes look, but really a mascara's true test is in its wear for me, like whether it'll smudge. So we'll check back in after my dance class. Okay, I am on my selfie camera now on my phone, doing a little check-in for you guys. So, I don't know what that is. But mascara is pretty good. Tiny bit of flaking there, but it's not smudged. I am pretty impressed. I think that might be from when I was applying, to be honest, that little smudge there. I'm looking a little bit shiny. So the bits that were grabbing onto the bits that was like my dry patches here is still grabbing on there. This bit have broken up. I put highlighter here and it's definitely broken up quite a bit. But the highlighter here looks good. Kind of is just very dewy, very glowy. I don't know if that's just because the product got taken away, so this is more like on bare skin that looks good. To be honest, I can't really see any signs of my bronzer on my forehead. A tiny bit here on this side. Not so much, maybe a little bit on this side, but not like nowhere near as prominent as when I applied it. Yeah, this bit here is definitely like peeling off a little bit. It's kind of like rolling up. Here you can see the redness is no longer covered. And like here it's breaking up. I guess like when I'm smiling, so that's kind of broken up a little bit. This side here under the eyes actually look pretty good. But yeah, you can see bits have like congealed, broken up. But yeah, I like the mascara. And the blush has held on, but the bronzer definitely haven't held on. So yeah, this is kind of, and honestly, I wore it for like 2 hours, maybe 3. That's it. And obviously I did like go to a sweaty dance class and sweated, which is why I'm quite shiny right now. But even so, I guess maybe the sweat just kind of washed the bronzer away from my forehead. Yeah, we'll see. I'm a little bit worried about the lasting power of the bronzer, to be honest. So yes, well, stay tuned guys. Okay, bye.